Hello again, welcome back to BlissNiques. In this episode, I run through all the latest mods I've done to the Landcruiser in the last 6 months, as well as all the future mods I've got planned for it in the next 6 months. Any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Cheers. Good afternoon. What a beautiful afternoon it is too. Of course, I'm on night shift. Can't do anything. Welcome back to BlissNiques. In this episode, I'm going to go through all the recent mods I've done to the Cruiser in the last 6 months. Those of you that follow the channel would know that I've sort of been updating videos as I'm doing them. Whether it's the EMU wings or the custom water tanks, the whole inside being all decked out. Those videos are on the channel, so if you want to check out those videos, jump on the channel and subscribe. So this one's going to be basically a update. I've only done a couple of mods on there so far for the last 6 months. Money has been the issue. Money doesn't grow on trees, which it did. And then go through all the future mods as well. So big plans in the next sort of 6 to 12 months. I've got a few things on order and really want to get this thing looking really good and a little bit more practical as well. But anyways, I'll jump into the video and show you around. Alrighty, I'll jump into the first mod. I've got head cam on. Hello. Travel Buddy. Very handy piece of equipment. Mum and Dad were kind enough to get me one of these last Christmas, and they also gave me a puzzle of where I was going to put it. But I found a little spot. It's not going to be there forever, as I've got some other plans for it, and the plans I've got for it, if I can pull it off, I think it's going to be a winner. And I don't want to say too much because I've never seen it done before. So in the future, it's going to cost a little bit of money, but if I get it done and it works out sweet, you guys will be the first to know. But yeah, it does involve this. Very handy. If you don't have one, definitely stick that on the bucket list. You can prep all your meals before you go. Even if you've got your freezer, pies, just simple pies, easy to just chuck in, go about your day and come back and they're all done, ready to go. The next little mod is this little gate here. This just stops anything coming forward when we're forward driving or for braking heavily. I was sick of everything sliding forward, but I still wanted to be able to use this as a sleeping single bed, so I made it into a gate, and that just slides under there like that, and I can put the single mattress, roll it out through here, and it's good for like boys trips and just going out for like a night by myself somewhere, which doesn't happen that often, but it's the options there if I want it. I've just added a couple of little boat rods as well, so I've got 4 rods in here, 2 on each side. If that's a little hint of what the new toy is going to be for our adventures. So big plans ahead, and I'll get into that. I'll show you what the little toy is later on once I get home. It's a quick and easy mod, but just that little mesh thing there, it's cheap. I tell you what, it's very handy. Stops everything sliding in between the seats and coming forward. Very, very handy. You get them from super cheap. I think they're like 20 bucks or something like that. And you can put your tissues and stuff like that. We put GoPros in there for when we're traveling, if we need to get to them quick. We put them in there as well. A little bit off topic. I don't know if anyone's steering wheel is doing the exact same thing as mine, but I've actually got a guy in Perth. I've got a guy in Perth that's going to repair this part of the steering wheel, so I'll let you know how it goes. And he was pretty reasonably priced. I think it was like 300 bucks. He had 3 different options: a full recover, which was like 800 bucks. I mean, you might as well get a new steering wheel for that. But there was another option that sort of replaced this section, and that was 340 or something like that. And then there's another option, like a cheaper one again, which is like a vinyl wrap, which didn't look the best, looked pretty cheap. So I just went the middle option, just get this part repaired, but I'll definitely, if it's good, I'll let you know. Alrighty, I'll jump onto the outside of the car now. The first mod I've got here is the rock sliders. Definitely needed these. I hit the standard steps that many times and had to bend them back into shape so many times that it was only a matter of time before I actually done damage to the sill. So these were a must for us. These are 30 kilos each, so that's 60 kilos added to your ride. I will get into the GVM upgrades later in the video, and what I've been talking to the engineer about. These, when I first said that I got these, I put these on the internet, and a couple of guys popped up and said they've got them, and they've copped an absolute flogging, and they're still in shape and looking good. So very, very happy with that. They are done by BlissNiques, which are on the East Coast. I think they were, by memory, about $1,200 delivered to my door, so that's pretty good. Underneath, you got 3 mounts. Hopefully you can see them. 3 mounts, nice and strong. Definitely a must-do if you're going to be doing some crazy forward driving. Okay, these little work lights are from Supernova. Cannot believe how much light these actually pump out. I probably didn't even need to have 2 of them, but I bought 2 thinking that they weren't going to be that strong. But yeah, turns out they are. They'd light up that whole area. If I get a chance at night, I'll turn them on, and hopefully the GoPro will actually pick up how much light they pump out. And they're only cheap. They're only like, I think they were like 40 or 50 bucks or something like that from Supernova. Unbelievable. And I've just made some brackets up, some real strong brackets. Once again, anything that I make, I try and over engineer, because we do go on a lot of corrugated roads. So I've seen so many brackets and stuff like that break. Here's, for instance, this is a actual 270 awning mount, just for a 2.5 meter awning. So just gives you an idea that I just love to over engineer everything so nothing breaks, because it can just ruin your holiday if something does. Alrighty, up the front of the roof rack now, we've got the Supernova 42-inch single row light bar, and I am so impressed with this light bar. I used to work in the mine, so we had a lot of different light bars on different vehicles and trucks like that, and this just shits all over them. I cannot get over how bright this thing is. I probably don't even need spotties on the front anymore at all. But anyways, I got to test it out properly on the way to Exmouth last month. If you follow the channel, you would have seen me go for a fishing trip up there. And I left at 2 o'clock on a Sunday morning, so there was no cars on the road. There was like 5 cars between here and Donga, which is just unheard of. So I really got to test it out. And granted, it doesn't get massive distance, but the spread on it was just unbelievable. And there was kangaroos that I would never have seen if I just had the spotties. So some staunch ones as well. But very, very impressed. I'm not sponsored by them, so don't think I'm trying to hype up the product. I'm not. The only qualm I have with them is the brackets that come with the lights were pretty piss weak, to be honest. It wouldn't last 2 seconds on corrugated roads, and if anyone goes to Steep Point or Gibb River or something like that, the worst corrugations in the world, that just wouldn't last. So I made some thicker brackets, and hopefully that should hold it for those trips. I'm actually going to make another bracket in behind it as well, just for some extra support. Okay, the next little mod from the Cruiser company, it's just like a tire rack, they call it. Very happy with the quality. It's actually quite solid. I looked everywhere to find a little toolbox to put on the top on the internet. Finally found one, fits in beautifully. I've just bolted it to it underneath, so it's there, don't have to strap it on or anything. I'm basically using this is like unused space previously, so I want to put like fuel, things that you don't want to put in the car, like fuel for the little toy that we've got. I'll show you once again, show you that at the end of the video. And also, you know, chemicals for the toilet, burley if you want to go fishing, or if I want to take some burley somewhere, I can just chuck that in there. I don't have to worry about smells going through the car. Yeah, and then another thing that I've got from the Cruiser company as well, which hasn't turned up yet, is a MaxTrax holder, which sort of bolts to the tire, and yeah, they sort of go up there. They rang me the other day and said it's going to be another couple of weeks away, so that'll be on the next video. Underneath the car, I haven't got it yet, but I've got the sub tank from ARB, the split tank. So it's 122 litres of fuel and 55 litres of water in the one tank, which replaces the sub tank in these. I definitely think it's a good idea for us, because we do have the 1FZ petrol motor, which loves a drink of fuel. But yeah, if we didn't have that tank, or if we didn't have jerry cans in Dirk Hartog Island trip, we would have run out on the way back to Denham. I think it was 3,400 or something like that fitted, so it's booked in October to get it fitted, and I'm going to get a new fuel sender and stuff like that to put in it at the same time while everything's out. Kind of makes sense. Moving on. The last little mod's just this little bonnet protector. Nothing crazy, they're 80 bucks. I just like the look of them. Nothing practical about it, just like the look of it. Okay, so that sums up pretty much all the new mods that I've done to it so far in the last sort of 6 months compared to the last video. I'll jump into the future mods. The first thing I'm doing, and I've got everything ordered already, some things have got to come in. I'm going to change the cable to a rope. Purely it's just for weight. These things are super heavy. It's probably about 10-15 kilos difference in weight, maybe even more. I'm not even sure. I'll have to wait when I take it off. But I've got the new winch rope that's going to come in. I'm going to replace this. Obviously you don't need this for that kind of rope setup. I'll just have, like, I think they're called the fair leads set up on the front bar. The spotties, they're coming off. These actually shorted out, and it took me forever to find where the short was. Turned out it was the wires inside the actual light. It corroded, all the plastic off the wires corroded that much that they just started flaking off. It was that old, and the wires started shorting out inside the light. So I had a whole lot of fun trying to find that short. That was pain in the butt actually. But they're going to come off. I'm going to get, once again, the Supernova. They're called 8.5 infinites. They look awesome, so I'm going to chuck them on the front bar. The bar is actually coming off. I'm going to get it powder coated in black, something I've wanted since I first got the Cruiser. I just never got around to it. I got a quote to add another little aerial mount here and get the bar powder coated, and it was going to cost me 400 bucks, so that's not too bad. It's cheaper than getting another bar. I looked everywhere for a bar that I actually really like, and I just could not find one. So yeah, I decided to get that painted instead, or powder coated instead. I've got LED new lights to go in here. I just found these on the internet. Apparently they just go straight in, I'm hoping. If not, you'll be the first to know. Yeah, so I'll do a video on the before and after of this of the bar when I get it done as well. Now I've got new headlights coming, or new lights coming from Aurora Custom Headlights. The projector headlights. I've never seen them on the Cruisers yet, but they look, on the photos, they look sick. So I've seen projector lights on a lot of 79s and stuff like that, but yeah, and it's got like they call it the angry eye. You might see them on Discoveries, the new Discoveries have got them. Yeah, I think it's going to look sick. So that's the first real mod that I'm going to do to the Cruiser, and I'll have that done over the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I'll show you that video as well. All right, the next mod I want to do after the front bar is the wheels. I think the wheels really set off a four-wheel drive. It makes a four-wheel drive look average to awesome just by a set of wheels. So I've got my eyes on a set of 17, they're called Coverts fuels. I think they look alright, so I'm gonna try and get them in. I need a 17-inch wheel for the brake upgrade that I want to do. So Packard Automotive, this might interest anyone that's got a 105 series or a 100 series. Packard Automotive worked out a way to put a 200 series brakes onto the 100 series or 105 series. They're just finalising the certificates. They reckon they've almost done that, so it'll be all legal and all that. So I really want to do that, and they reckon that the difference is between like night and day. It's that good. So I really want to get some really good brakes on this thing, especially with all this modifications. The weight does get up on them, so yeah, I want to be able to stop if I need to. And the rubber is the 305 by 7017 Goodyear Wranglers I'm trying to find, and I cannot find them anywhere. And if anyone knows where I could get some, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, moving on. Okay, this awning's going to go. I've got my eyes on the Drifter 270 awning that they do, which is a tiny bit smaller than your normal 270s. It's a little bit lighter. It's only 17 kilos as opposed to a lot of the other ones that, you know, 22 to 25 kilos, which really interests me. I'm once again trying to keep this weight down on this car while I put more and more stuff onto it. So I'm going to take this off. The handy, especially in WA, because it's so windy, these kind of setups are a pain in the ass to put away when you're trying to pack up and it's windy. So the 270s, quite easy, just pull them in, pull them out, roll them up, pack them away. It's so much easier, and it's gonna make my wife so much happier. That's for sure. But yeah, that's gonna be one of the next mods for sure. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'll talk to you about the GVM upgrades now. Once again, I was talking to the Packard Automotive in Perth, the ones I was just telling you about the brakes. They'll tell me about 2 GVM upgrades that they're looking at. One's a 3.3 ton, which I think you can get now, and they're just doing some finalizations on a 4.2 ton GVM upgrade, which is massive. And anyone that has a 100 series or a 105 series, I know that's music to your ears, because it doesn't take much to get these overloaded. But as I get the information, I'll happily relay that information to you guys. If that interests you, jump on the channel and hit that subscribe button, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted on any information that I get from it. But I'm definitely want to do it. I want to keep this legal. I want to get all the fruit on it first, and then see how much it weighs, and then decide which one I want to go. Hopefully I can keep it under that 3.4 ton or 3.3 ton. That would be nice. I'm doing my best to cut out weight everywhere. So yeah, I'll keep you posted for sure, and yeah, follow the channel. Alrighty, that's about us up to date with the Cruiser. For the mods done and future plans. Any questions at all, hit me up. I'm happy to answer any questions to the best of my knowledge anyway. Pretty much jump on the channel. If there's anything I've missed, it's probably in other videos that we've done so far. Subscribe too if you want to see the progress of the Cruiser, and if you love camping, fishing and all that, anything outdoors, you might like some of the other videos on there as well. But anyways, I'll cut back to home, I'll show you that new toy, and I'll finish off the video there. Okay, that little toy that I was telling you about earlier, here it is. It's a 2.8 meter little tender boat, blow-up boat, with a little 6 horsepower Yami 4-stroke. A lot of our trips that we went away with, there was just one thing that was missing, and that was a tiny little boat. And I don't like towing trailers and stuff like that. I think you're sort of restricted on where you can get to with boat trailers and little tinny trailers and stuff like that. So I wanted to be able to put this inside the Cruiser. So I'm just in the middle of working it all out. I'm kind of making a little roof rack box so I can put all that stuff on top of the roof rack, and the actual main boat that can go on the back, that's no dramas. And the motor, I've got to figure out exactly. I was planning to put a little bracket on the back bar for it, but in the meantime I'm just going to have to chuck it inside as well. So yeah, that's the little toy that we're going to be using. I cannot wait to do some adventures in it, especially like places like Dirk Hartog. Would have been absolutely perfect to have that boat then. And it's not just getting out and fishing, you can explore and get to places where, you know, cars can't get to. So really looking forward to getting that out and just exploring it as well. Yeah, exciting times. Alrighty guys, that's the end of the video. Cheers for watching and tuning in. Any questions, once again, hit me up in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you haven't already, and subscribe if you want to see what happens to the Cruiser in the future. Until the next video, I'm not sure where we're going to be. I might go fishing on Friday. The weather's looking pretty good, so I might get the boat out finally. But other than that, we'll see you again very shortly.
G'day guys. New to BlissNiques, we have our t-shirts available from medium to extra large. These are screen printed to last longer and are super comfortable. If you'd like to support our channel, hit us up on Instagram, BlissNiques, $45 plus postage. Cheers.